Hello, this is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to the 7th Mord Reports. This is, of course, where we basically go over the state of the channel, and originated when I was working on Prophecy of Pendor, and I would submit bug reports, and I would just call those Mord Reports. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to talk about where things are and where things are going. The first biggest part of news is that I will again be unable to record for about 3 weeks, which will start on Friday the 22nd. So right now I am doing quite a lot of pre-recording and generally making sure that there is enough content up for you guys to enjoy while I'm unable to add some more of my own. I should be back on August the 17th, so everything will kick off in more or less real time at that point again. Okay, so let's talk about the actual stuff on the channel. First of all, Viking Conquest. This, of course, replaced the very long-running Prophecy of Pendor, which did reach 100 and something or other episodes. I'm just double-checking precisely how many I had. I think it was 186. Yeah, 186. So if you haven't seen the end of that just yet, I would recommend you do check it out, particularly the last 4 episodes. The first 3 of those 4 was the Life of Klaus, which was essentially a montage of Klaus's entire journey through life thus far. And then, of course, the finale itself, which was mostly created to give viewers a bit of closure about how the world ended up. So we basically fast forwarded through the conquest of the Dashar, the fall of the Empire, and all of that stuff. But it was also a nice platform to show off a lot more of the artwork from Prophecy of Pendor 3.8, which is still in development. So yeah, I do hope that you have checked that out, and if you did, I hope you enjoyed it. It took a hell of a lot of work to put together, I must admit. Anyway, as I said, the replacement for Pendor was Viking Conquest, and that was a fairly obvious choice, you know, with the channel being called Mordred Viking and everything. It was kind of odd. I had not very much Viking related stuff up there, the Total War Dane series notwithstanding. I think it's going very well. It seems to be very popular. It still gets a good number of views, so yeah, that's just going ahead as intended. Now, one thing which I was not sure about, and I would very much appreciate some input from you guys on, is basically while I'm away, ordinarily I pre-record stuff, but we've had such a good like back and forth through the comments and the like, that I'm kind of unsure whether I should pre-record that particular series. So would you like that series to go on regardless during those 3 weeks, or should it be put on a hiatus while I'm away, and then we can just continue the, you know, the discussions and stuff that we have going on there when I return in a more real-time fashion? Do let me know in the comments what you reckon on that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the permadeath, which you might have noticed on episode 15, but we just reloaded. So otherwise, it's really good. I really enjoy it. It's really historically accurate from what I can tell. The story is pretty good so far, and yeah, I can see us getting quite a few more hours out of it. Okay, on to the Clash of the Titans, which is of course the multiplayer EU4 game that I have going with Bussy and Igel. That is fantastic. It's still one of the strongest performing, no, it is the strongest performing series on the channel right now. I think we reckoned we have about 10 or 15 episodes of that left, but we have already made plans for what the next series will be. So yes, Igel and Bussy will indeed be back after the Clash of the Titans is done. And I do think that is going to be really quite exciting. We've got a really good idea, actually. I'm very pleased with it. So I do hope you'll join us for that. Okay, so the biggest game to have appeared since the last update, really, is of course Hearts of Iron, and we have dedicated quite a lot of time to it. It's a really good game. I'm actually surprised by precisely how good it is. It has very few weaknesses. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Viva France, which was my first series, seems to have gone down rather well. People really enjoyed the historical element to it. Particularly, I think, the slant of playing without hindsight, so we still let Germany through Benelux and fought them back from there. And yeah, it's really good. I have actually recorded the whole series. It's finished. So obviously that was pre-recorded, and that will continue to feed through until it is done. So I do hope you're enjoying it. And speaking of Vive la France, I have actually started a new series. No, sorry, Vive la France finished. Of course it did. Duh. Brexit Britain's the one I meant to say. Brexit Britain, I have actually recorded a whole bunch more. I'm actually recorded up to episode 24. and you guys are currently only on episode 5, so there's quite a lot of stuff still to come. And that is a very, very different game to Brexit Britain, no, to Vive la France, because it is so ahistorical. Like, everything is just different. Everything that, well, you could almost say everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But I think it actually kind of makes it a more interesting viewing as a result, just because there is so much stuff going on. And believe me, there are some really, really good times coming on that series. So I very much hope that you'll join me for that one. I probably will finish recording it for this extent when I'm away. So if you have any ideas for what the next single player Hearts of Iron game should be, please do let me know in the comments as well. I'm very much open to suggestions, whether you want me to just play a historical game as one of the different factions, whether you want me to play as a minor. I'm fairly tempted to play as Poland, actually, because they were included with national focus in the version of the game I have. I'm kind of waiting, honestly, for more DLC to expand on the minor faction, so if you can try and keep it to the major factions for the time being, that would be appreciated. I was, for example, really wanting to play as the Netherlands, but I'm waiting for that to be fleshed out a bit more, particularly so that I can make more use of Indonesia in much the same way that the British national focuses allows them to expand their imperial holdings and their colonies. One other thing I meant to mention about Brexit Britain actually is I was actually very nervous about posting it as a series, because obviously it has some controversy surrounding it because of the referendum. 52% voted to leave and 48% voted to remain, and I was really expecting to see a lot more people kind of yelling at me about that. And I did watch another YouTuber, Enter Elysium, who did a very similar concept, not exactly the same way, and he was absolutely smashed by his community because of the content of it. And I have to say, you guys are amazing. You are such a good community to do this stuff for, and you're so positive. You're so, yeah, it's really, really nice doing this stuff for you guys. I have this little statistic I wanted to share with you. I have got 8,337 likes on this channel so far, and only 73 dislikes, of which 14 are from one video, which is the Crowfall one, and most of those dislikes were because I didn't like the game as opposed to the content. So it is an absolute joy interacting with you guys, and I just wanted to give you kudos for that, and I really hope that we can continue that kind of positivity. We're a very serious audience, I think, and a very mature one, so yeah, let's keep that up. I'm proud of you guys. That's really good, especially for internet stuff when drama and stuff tends to kick off in rather a big way. It really hasn't here, and I'm really pleased about that. Okay, the next series was the Communist Co-op, which I'm doing with Tin Tuna. If you don't know the history of that game, by the way, it's actually kind of cool. There's a game called Making History, which my friends and I used to play quite a lot of, and one of the scenarios in that we basically created for ourselves was Communist China trying to take over China, with the other player playing as the Soviet Union and kind of supporting the communists in doing that, and then from there you have China and the USSR taking on the world, and that is precisely what Tin Tuna and I have recreated in the Communist Co-op game, and that is going very, very well. We have pre-recorded the whole series. There's 10 episodes or so still to go, I think. So that does wrap up eventually, and we have started a new series, recording it. I'm not going to announce any other details about that just yet because spoilers, but that should go live on the 26th and is again with Tin Tuna, and that is a really good series. I'm enjoying that one as well, so yeah, good times. Right, next game, Stellaris. Stellaris is the other big game that was released in this period, and it has, yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. I really like the game itself, but it's not the easiest game to watch because it's fairly slow paced, particularly in the beginning. However, it's really quite good for streaming. So the 8-player stream, which will be on tomorrow, that is the 17th, starting at 9 AM on twitch.tv/MordredViking if you want to join us for that. That is a fairly long running game. I think we've been doing it for like 3 months now. That will continue, and it seems to get a pretty good audience. The videos which I post up to YouTube, not so much, but the live audience is, yeah, it's pretty good. And then after that, at 7 PM British summertime, we have the Open Hot Join game, and that has been one of the most surprisingly popular things that I've done, actually. We've probably had 8-9 subscribers joining us on there, plus playing myself, and then a couple of my friends will drop in from time to time. I know Chin Tune has been on there. I know that Chaos Gemini has anyone else? Not sure. But anyway, that will again be there, and it is open. It is a new game that we started last 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So there are loads of open AI nations to play as, and it really works well as a subscriber game because it's hot join, so you can join whenever you want, you can leave whenever you want, and it just seems to work very well. It's a good format for that. So the future of Stellaris on the YouTube channel, I'm not entirely sure about. It somewhat depends on what expansions and DLC they release in the future. Paradox have a history of doing really good stuff on that side, so it might make a return, but in its current state it probably won't. It'll just be Twitch. And I am still kind of thinking about whether I want to continue publishing the 8-player game on YouTube, because I could do another series in that time which might be more popular. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with the populist vote on that. So let me know if you want to see it continue. Otherwise I probably will replace it. Probably not until I'm back after the my time away. So we have at least 3 more weeks of it. So it won't be touched in that time, but after that I will need to consider the future of that. And talking of the future of games, Total War Warhammer was one of the most roller coaster experiences I've had. The release of Total War Warhammer was huge, and it was actually one of the best performing series I've done, except for Pandora and Clash of the Titans. And I was hugely happy about it, but then viewership ratings just bottomed out. They just went to almost nothing. And that is virtually the same experience I've had with every other Total War game that I've featured on this channel. I love the game to bits, but it just does not get the views, so it probably won't appear again. We did have the multiplayer game with Tome, which was the grudge match. That was with the Dwarven co-op. That was just buggy as hell, and it kept on crashing on us, so again that's basically been dropped too, which is unfortunate, because man, I love Total War Warhammer. It's such a good game. It's just not enough people watch it. I think the thing there is people find the campaign quite boring, and you spend so much time on the campaign map that is where the problems stem. You do get quite a few big YouTubers who do the multiplayer matches, so that might happen, but for the actual campaign itself, probably not. Unless they do some absolutely amazingly spectacular expansion, in which case, of course, I reserve the right to go back on that. Okay, so that is all the games that we have had in the current and past period. So what about the future of this channel? Well, of course, I'm going to go forwards, all guns blazing. After this 3-week period away, I've basically got no plans until next summer, so I should be around fairly solidly. We'll get a stream going every Sunday. I'm thinking of doing a second stream at some point, probably during the week. If you have any particular feelings about that, like what kind of games you would like to see, or more importantly, when it should be, let me know in the comments. Probably will be in the evenings or during the day, European time. I don't particularly want to do it at like 4 AM to suit the Americans, sorry guys. But you'll always be able to visit the archive. I don't know for sure if I'll publish that footage onto YouTube. I might or might not, depends on the game, depends on whether it's worthwhile doing. But the stream itself, of course, will be, and I really want to get some more of this real-time interactivity with you guys. It's a lot of fun having a live audience there, able to interact with you as you're actually doing the stuff. So yeah, good. So the games themselves, as I said, Viking Conquest, excellent, double thumbs up, that will be continuing. EU4 multiplayer, that is Clash of the Titans, double thumbs up, triple thumbs up even on that one. We'll continue until it's done. Then we have another series in the pipeline, which we have planned. We haven't started recording it yet because we haven't finished recording the actual game. Hearts of Iron, lots more stuff due to come out for that. Brexit Britain, Communist Co-op, still going out, and new co-op, new series with Tin Tuna also on that. And I'm also starting to think about an 8-player game for that. Maybe I need to talk to my friends about precisely how that would work, but that is something I'm kind of working on. No promises there just yet, but I would like to do that because I think an 8-player game of Hearts of Iron would be freaking fantastic. And then Stellaris, that will depend entirely on the direction it takes in the future and what expansions and enhancements they can make.
This will be good.
There are a couple of other games on my radar which I would like to visit in the future. The biggest one is RimWorld, which was released yesterday on Steam. I don't own it yet, but I really like survival simulators like that. and the Let's Plays I've seen on other people's channels, like Quill18, it looks amazing. So RimWorld is definitely going to come in the future. Another one is Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's kind of a more RPG-like Mountain Blade. It has a lot of similarities to Mountain Blade from what I can see. It's currently in open, well, paid for beta, which I might go for. I don't know just yet, but it looks really good, and I think it will really appeal to the Mountain Blade crowd on this channel, so that is another possibility. And then finally I was talking to Tin Tuna about doing a shooter, and that might well be co-op Armour 3. Another expansion for that has just dropped, which is a 4-player co-op, so we might see if we can pull something out for that too. And then of course there is Bannerlord. I really want to play it. I'm really excited to play it, but there's still no release date. A couple of people have asked about that. Absolutely, it will feature on this channel, 100%. I just don't know when, because it really depends when it's released. And yes, that is probably the type of thing I would pick up on day one. So yeah, I think that is everything I needed to report back on. This was actually a fairly long report, I'm sorry about that, but there was quite a lot of stuff to get through. The comments that I was asking you guys for input on was whether Viking Conquest should be on a hiatus for the 3 weeks that I'm unable to record any. Do let me know about that. And also when I should do a second stream during the week. So we have the Sunday slot, which is going to be more or less permanent. Obviously there won't be any streams for the next 3 weeks, so tomorrow will be the last one for 3 weeks. When I'm back in business after that, that should be a more routine thing, and I really want to start sticking to a routine on that. I would like to do a second one, as I've said, so let me know what times suit you guys and what you would like to see me play. Thank you very much for watching, and once again, you guys are amazing. You are such a cool community, so thank you ever so much for just being awesome. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
How do you like me now? Whenever you guys are ready. This should make my point. Dependable, that's me. No tossing, please. Where's all the gold at? They won't get past me. Killing season.